turn to how the Rebbe introduces Parashas Pikudei, because Pikudei we have the same issue as Vayakel. We'll get back to your question in a moment, but first let me read what the Rebbe says about Pikudei. The Rebbe says about Pikudei, because Pikudei, every year when I read Pikudei, I said if I wanted to be in accounting, I would have been an accountant. Here it's just doing a very important tally of everything, but the numbers mean nothing to us, because what are they supposed to mean to us today? So let's see what how the Rebbe takes a big picture view of Pikudei. So the Rebbe says as follows: Parashas Pikudei begins with a tally of all the materials collected for making the Mishkan, its furnishings, and the garments of the priests. The first half details how the artisans made the priestly garments, essentially repeating the first half of Tetzaveh, but changing the verb from you shall make to they made. Same thing as Vayakel. So this apparent redundancy underscores the difference between the abstract and idealized version of the tabernacle with the physical tabernacle that the people constructed. The point is made in order to emphasize that it is the physical tabernacle that fulfills God's will to make this world his home. The name of this parasha, Pikudei, means the tallies of, referring to the tallies of the materials the people brought to Moses in order to build the tabernacle. So like the previous parasha, Vayakel, this parasha's name refers to a mass of individual entities. While the word Vayakel describes how these units combine to form a collective whole, the word Pikudei highlights each entity's identity as a discrete unit that is discounted separately. And this, I'm skipping a little bit, so you have to read the full essay in his Chumash, but he writes, each component of the tabernacle possesses a unique holiness and fulfills a unique function, but only by virtue of it being part of the tabernacle as a whole. Only once the entire tabernacle has been constructed and every piece is in place does each component assume its unique role and become endowed with spiritual effectiveness. Each of us possesses intrinsic worth that makes us an equal to every other individual of the Jewish people, notwithstanding our position on the ladder of spirituality. And this brings us, let me just summarize what the Rebbe is saying. This brings us to a fundamental point that the Rebbe is saying, that each of us has incredible, infinite value, but at the same time, each of us has no value. Like on the one hand, we're all dust and earth. On the other hand, we're all of incredible value. And it's like a piece of money. The money will have value only if it's attached to something significant. Only if it's attached to something significant. So this money, all these components only take on a value. The counting only has value when it's part of this larger piece. And this is what the Rebbe says, that if we want to bring meaning to our lives, we have to attach ourselves to something significant. That's the basic point here. Attach ourselves to something of much more and deeper, greater significance than us. And that's the point of Pikudei, showing these countings. On the one hand, the most prosaic task, the most mundane task, accounting. I don't mean to, God forbid, insult anybody who's an accountant, but it's very, it doesn't seem to have like a lot of spark to it. But on the other hand, when it's all the counting is done, when you add it up, it makes this incredible center of our universe, this incredible center of spirituality. And that's the point, that each individual component can combine with the Jewish people to create something very, very special. I want to stop here and take a question before we go to the Orach Chaim HaKadosh, who adds on to this something incredible. So let's first